For 2 years, Antoni has been helping people live better lives as part of the cast of Queer Eye. The Montreal native serves as the food and wine expert on the Emmy Award-winning series and has just released his first cookbook. So for more, Antoni is in the kitchen with us. Good morning, my friend. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
So pleased to be here with you. So happy for your success. But I want to go back to the beginning of Queer Eye because you doubted yourself when that project was first presented to you.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that, and did you doubt yourself when you decided to embark on putting a book together, too?
That's a really good loaded question with a lot of them.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try to, I mean, I did doubt myself for two reasons. I think, you know, just the show being called Queer Eye, it was assumed that the five of us were gay men, and I've always identified as queer or fluid, and so I kind of thought like I didn't kind of like belong in the mix. But I've experienced that with like any job that I've started or anything, like even when I started at university, just thinking like, am I good enough for this? I think that's like kind of like the age-old question that we all ask ourselves whenever we're embarking on any type of endeavor. But I figured it out.
Yeah, you did.
And then I had an opportunity to do a cookbook, and with that, I think there was actually less self-doubt because this was an opportunity to sort of just show my story through food and all like the recipes that have shaped me, from like Polish heritage to stuff that I made in college when I was broke in New York to stuff that I make now, and like recipes that never really made it on Queer Eye because they're 2-minute segments. So I get to show them in the book, which is in the cookbook, which is really exciting. So yeah.
Well, listen, it's a really special project, and what you guys are doing is, I think, really important.
Thanks.
So really happy to have you here and to be able to talk about it. All right, let's get to some cooking.
Yes.
We're making some sort of rice dish today, right?
Yes.
And you were inspired by, were you inspired by Giada?
I was inspired by Giada. I was on the Stairmaster at the gym in New York, as one usually is when recipes come to their mind, or if you're me at least. And she was making this Napolitano classic called sarto di riso, which is basically, it's what you do with leftover risotto, which I love, like repurposing things that you have left up, if you have leftover risotto. Because people usually always make it in large quantities. And it's baked, and it's awesome, and yeah.
All right, put me to work. Put me to work.
So we have a mirepoix here, which is your base for almost any sauce, soup, or stew. You have celery, carrot, onion. There's some tomato paste in here. It's nice and sort of golden brown. San Marzano tomatoes. This is the good stuff. They're whole. You want to just plop them right in there, nice and gently.
You know, we should tell people at home as well that our connection is actually through my wife.
It is.
Yeah, because you, back in the day, worked in the same circles as she did in Montreal.
We did. We ran around the same groups of people in Montreal at Garde Manger, the now iconic restaurant.
Yes, indeed.
Where I used to work and we both used to party.
Yeah, all you good-looking servers that it was a world that I could not belong to.
Oh, stop. Are you fishing? Is that what you're doing this morning?
Okay,
it's never too early to fish. You look very handsome.
Well, thank you very much,
and
Antoni.
he's blushing.
Oh, thank you. Antoni, I hear that we got to put a rind in here.
Okay, so Parmesan rinds.
I think I've heard this
before. Here's the deal. This flavors your sauce. It gives it tons of depth. It makes it basically tastes like it's been cooking for hours, like your grandma's been making it.
And that's not, like, this isn't some sort of psychosomatic thing. This actually works.
It really works. There's plenty of salt, plenty of flavor and umami in there. You let it sort of stew, and it's going to come out, and it's going to be a little soft. Same with the basil. You throw it in basically for flavoring, and then you're going to remove it afterwards once it's done.
All right. Okay, so now we got our sauce.
This is reduced. Let's move to the future a little bit, because this is TV. So basically you have leftover risotto. You mix it up with raw egg and Parmesan so that it gets a nice seal. And in a bundt pan that's basically buttered and lined with breadcrumbs, you put your rice in. This part is really important. You want to really carefully seal the sides because you're going to be baking this. Again, looking towards the future, you don't want it to sort of break and have the sauce fall out while it's baking. So now you want to put your sauce. Actually,
on the inside.
That's a lie.
No.
We want to put mozzarella on the bottom because cheese. Why not?
Yes, of course.
So you basically tear it apart and you put it along the base. So the cheese is going to be on top when it comes down, and it's just going to kind of like.
This is so, like, I've seen a pasta bake with when you take the noodles and you add the egg.
It's very similar,
that sort of thing to it.
Yeah. The egg is important because it just kind of seals everything in. And then you put your tomato sauce over it. And you can use, if you have like a leftover bolognese sauce, you can make this vegetarian.
Okay, we got to move to the after because we only have just over a minute left.
Got it. We're doing this quickly. So we have it. It's come out. It's perfect. It's golden. You put more tomato sauce in the middle because why not?
Yes.
And then tons of basil. It looks like a Christmas wreath.
I need you to cut some for me so I can eat this while you tell me about the next part. This is good.
Cut through it like this. Why not move it to camera so we can actually see some things?
Okay.
This is a very large piece, but
that's how I like it.
There you go. So there you have the melty cheese.
Oh, yes. Come on.
Love that.
All right. Hit me up with a little dessert here.
Okay. So this one is inspired. Every single dish has a personal story. I love that you're eating while we're talking. Love a multitasker. And I used to go to this Polish camp that my auntie used to run, and it's rich as hell, but it's really nice. And these are like salted lemon bars that my cousin Maya would make. That's amazing. Would make with me, and you just basically put a little bit of powdered sugar up on top, and a little bit of salt, because you should add salt to your desserts because they bring out the flavor.
I love that you've got this book that's going worldwide, and you're telling people stories about the eastern townships in Montreal.
Of course,
yeah, I love
it's like
that.
my stomping grounds.
I love that. All right, salted. So the salted candy revolution continues. Cheers, my friend.
Cheers.
Yeah,
I love
that.
those.
Works. That works.
They're perfect
Antony,
for breakfast.
I think so. You can find all these recipes on our website, yourmorning.ca. Antony, thank you. Come back anytime.
Thank you for having me.